Catching fish in fields, also known as field fishing or floodplain fishing, is a traditional practice found in certain regions where seasonal flooding occurs. This phenomenon typically happens in areas with extensive floodplains, such as river deltas or low-lying regions prone to seasonal inundation. Here's an explanation of how man catches fish in the field. Seasonal flooding, in regions where field fishing occurs. Seasonal floods bring water from rivers or nearby water bodies into low-lying fields or floodplains. These floods are often a natural occurrence driven by seasonal rains or snowmelt, and they replenish nutrients in the soil while providing habitats for various aquatic organisms, including fish. Fish migration. During flooding, fish take advantage of the expanded water bodies to migrate from rivers or lakes into flooded fields. They do this to seek new feeding grounds, spawning sites, or simply to escape the strong currents of the main waterways. As a result, flooded fields become temporary habitats for fish, providing an opportunity for local communities to catch them. Traditional techniques. People living in flood-prone regions have developed traditional fishing techniques suited to catching fish in flooded fields. These techniques may include the use of nets, traps, spears, or even hand gathering. Fishermen often employ a combination of methods depending on factors such as water depth, fish species present, and local customs. Net fishing. Net fishing is a common method used in field fishing. Fishermen may set up nets in shallow areas or along channels where fish are likely to pass. As fish move through the flooded fields, they become entangled in the nets, allowing fishermen to harvest them. Trap fishing. Fish traps, such as woven baskets or bamboo traps, are also used to catch fish in flooded fields. These traps are strategically placed in areas where fish are known to gather, such as near vegetation or along the edges of submerged structures. Community efforts. Field fishing often involves the participation of entire communities, with families and neighbors working together to harvest fish during the flood season. This communal approach not only helps maximize the catch, but also fosters social cohesion and cooperation within the community. Seasonal livelihood. For many communities in flood-prone regions, field fishing is a seasonal livelihood activity that supplements agriculture or other forms of income. The abundance of fish during the flood season provides an important source of protein-rich food and additional income through sales or trade. Environmental considerations. While field fishing can be sustainable when practiced responsibly, overfishing and habitat degradation can occur if not managed carefully. It's important for communities and authorities to balance the exploitation of natural resources with conservation efforts to ensure the long-term health of both the ecosystem and the livelihoods dependent on it. Fishing in a field during the dry season is quite an unusual scenario, but it's not entirely unheard of in certain circumstances. In regions prone to extreme weather conditions like droughts or where bodies of water dry up during certain seasons, fish can sometimes become stranded in shallow pools or even on land. During particularly severe droughts, bodies of water such as rivers, ponds, or lakes can dry up, leaving fish trapped in remaining pockets of water. In such cases, people might take advantage of the situation by catching fish in these temporary habitats. This phenomenon can occur in various parts of the world where seasonal changes in precipitation lead to fluctuations in water levels. In some cultures, catching fish during the dry season might even be a traditional practice, with communities relying on these temporary water sources for sustenance during times of scarcity. However, it's essential to consider the environmental impact of such activities and ensure that they are conducted sustainably to avoid harming fish populations or their habitats. Additionally, as climate change exacerbates drought conditions in many regions, these events may become more frequent, emphasizing the need for responsible management of natural resources.